In attendance yesterday were the suspended top management officials and executive committee members of the NSITF, the acting managing director of the fund, the chairman of the board of NSITF, representatives of the head of service, and officials of the Bureau of Public Procurement. The suspended top management officials and executive committee members of NSITF, under oath, denied any act of wrongdoing, nor any query or any act of discipline whatsoever in the past. They also denied knowledge of any petition bordering on infractions of Public Procurement Act and financial regulations ever communicated to them prior to their suspension. Rather, they gave evidences in their oral presentation to the effect that they were ill-treated, and they also alleged a complete hijack or attempted hijack of the management function by the Honorable Minister of Labor and Employment. The chairman of the board of NSITF, under oath, informed the committee that he became aware of the suspension of the top management of the NSITF via news media while he was in Lagos. He also admitted, after tendering copies of minutes of meeting of the board held so far, wherein no petition against the suspended top management was discussed, that the action of the Honorable Minister, it was some of the top management executives taken yesterday complained bitterly that the actions of the minister was not in consonance with the circular issued by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. This point was made chiefly by the MD of the fund, the suspended MD, Barrister Somefu. The circular being referred to was that issued by the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, titled Approved Disciplinary Procedure Against Chief Executive Officers of Federal Government Parastatals, Agencies and Departments. The circular was dated 19th May 2020. And one of the reasons we have invited the Office of the Secretary to Government of the Federation as a follow-up to this is to put life to that document and to adopt and clarify if that document actually emanated from their office, so that we can move on with other issues connected thereto. Officials of the Bureau of Public Procurement, which was represented by Mr. Ngige, informed the committee of the circumstances under which one Mrs. Joyce, the head of procurement in the fund, was redeployed. He also informed the committee of an attempt by BPP to carry out a procurement audit at the instance of the Honorable Minister of Labor, only to be denied access to procurement documents by the same officials of NSITF. He, however, informed the committee that there is no evidence to suggest that an infraction of public procurement or financial regulation by the suspended management of NSITF has occurred, at least until when a procurement audit is carried out, which is still in the process. The ad hoc committee is also looking at the Honorable Minister of Power, who was alleged for personal interest or for some other reasons to have unlawfully carried out similar disciplinary actions against the chief executives of NBETS, Nigeria Bulk Electricity Trading, and Transmission Company of Nigeria, the TCN, respectively. I wish to once again remind you all that the ad hoc committee of the House of Representatives, this one in particular, shall remain unbiased in this matter, and we wish to extend to the parties the benefits of the principle of fair hearing, and to assure us that any information coming to the knowledge of this committee which requires confidentiality would be treated in utmost standard.
I said that even that I made a submission to Mr. President even before the SGF circular. And because the SGF circular came about at the same time that I was getting a presidential approval to institute disciplinary action. And part of the disciplinary action is suspension. Especially when people start obstructing investigation. When I give you the document, you will see where the Auditor General said that they were obstructing and they were hiding documents from them.
Honorable Minister, please, sorry to interject you.
Yes.
I just want clarity on that last paragraph. You talked about suspension. So
yes.
I want more clarity on that. That's the last paragraph.
Suspension is a public service procedure. It's a public service procedure by which you remove the person from office. If you have established a prima facie infraction, you can also do interdiction. In interdiction, usually is when a crime has been committed and the person is in court. Suspension can be authorized by the approving authority. In this case, Mr. President authorized it. But let me also even...
Minister, please.
Sorry?
If the President authorized it, we don't have a copy of the correspondence.
I will show you. I will show you today.
No, we need to have it.
No, you can't have it. It's a restricted document. It's here.
Thank God that...
No, look at it. It's here. I will show you.
Minister, Honorable Minister.
I will give you. I'll pass it around.
No, excuse me. You said you cannot give us. There is no document we cannot have here under the Constitution.
Okay.
No document is considered classified when it has to do with here. You were in the Senate before, and I'm sure you know that.
No problem. You know we have not come to that. That's why I'm saying this.
That we can prove to the Parliament that the suspension of these public officers was in accordance with the extant regulation. As a parliamentarian and as a public policy analyst, I don't trust this document. It is poorly written. A permanent secretary doesn't know how to pronounce federal. Writing to a minister in public service, a permanent secretary of general service, GSO. I know it is GSO. GSO is strategic. He acts for the SGF. Will miss the word federal and will not have the patience to retype that letter. One, that's my suspicion of this document. So I need to see the original of this document. Thirdly, I don't want to flash it because the cameras are watching. I will not flash it because of the restriction. You don't have that privilege. There is an imposition in the photocopy of this document. There's an imposition in the photocopy of this document. So I need...
Can I see it?
I will show you some. Some part of the president's approval is cut off. Some part of the paper downstairs is cut off. And usually, because I found myself in a position where I see presidential approvals, there is a chain of communication. Communication is given to certain offices, particularly from the office if this chief of staff is communicating presidential approval, it doesn't go to the minister straight.
It doesn't?
It doesn't go to the minister straight. There are other offices that are copied.
They are there.
They are not here.
No.
I'm telling you. They are not here.
Let me see the one you have.
I'm just making an observation. Just as an observation on this document. So you need to tender before this committee the original copy of this so that we can mark it as an exhibit.
Original
then,
is here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm just helping you, sir. I'm just helping you, sir. I'm just helping you. Sir, with regards to these accusations, I know you are passionate in redefining what is happening in NSRTF. I support you for that. I have investigated NSRTF. I have contributed in the development of NSRTF. I recovered a lot of money for NSRTF.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. You did. You and the Chuchu Onyema.
Yes, so I know what goes in there. But my concern, Mr. Minister, when this suspension came to these people, where is the chairman of the board? Were all these crimes committed without the chairman of the board? Were all these crimes committed without the board? I think you need to establish that so that you'll be fair.
Yes.
Because you have emphasized the point of being fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
If the board participated in all these crimes, the board does not have the right to remain where they are now. That's the next one. Mr. Minister, maybe I hope you are taking notes, sir.
I'm taking notes. I am.
The EFCC report that you are talking about,
Yes.
that EFCC report, is it on this management or the 2012 management? Was there any EFCC report on this management, on this suspended management, that is being alleged to have been looted? Is it within the tenure of this management or is it from 2012? Because we need to distinguish when, in which period, where all this happened.
Yeah?
Honourable Minister, you made a reference to the Act of NSITF. You cited a clause, a section. I have looked at that section. I did not see.
Is that the NSITF Act?
Yes, sir.
Please, can I have it?
Maybe
Maybe I've misquoted the thing.
I did not see what the section you made reference to. I think you made reference to
I
section
made reference to a place.
45 or what, sir? If I'm correct.
Yes, I'm coming. I think.
For this, I'm not going to rely on this Auditor General queries. There is no ministry, agencies, or department in government that has no audit query.
Yeah, you get it.
If we rely on audit query,
You get it.
I don't think anybody can go around. We need a copy of the administrative
Copy
report.
of administrative panel of inquiry.
Yes, sir.
Okay.